Hello everyone, I'm Zethrix.
And I'm Savazar. And we played Dinkum for 100 days, and here's what happened.
Welcome to day 33. You can see in the background that the bank was done, but it might be a second before I make my way over there. It's been a while since I checked the score of our town at Fletch's tent. It looks like we're not doing too bad, but we're not even close to where I want to be. And I didn't waste any time. I started metal detecting right away. Here's a quick supercut of all the goodies we were collecting. Barrel after barrel after barrel. I'm not sharing any of these goodies with Savazar. Just kidding. Sharing is caring. And I finally found our second tower, and I already had everything we needed thanks to all the metal detecting I was doing. That meant that we had 2 towers done. And that means we're also halfway done with all the towers. So I set out to look for the 3rd tower, and I continued metal detecting along the way. And I was collecting any wattles I could find. And it wasn't long before I found the tower. Luckily, I had everything I needed to finish it again. Well, I guess I was missing one circuit board. After repairing the 3rd tower, I set out to look for the 4th tower. And along the way, I was collecting more wattle seeds. And I continued metal detecting. I was just trying to get my hands on anything I could. And I actually thought for a second this kangaroo was going to take me out. And when I jumped in the water, I literally thought I was dead. I thought I jumped on a shark's head, but then I realized it was a fish. I had to catch this thing. I cast my line out right away, and he bit the bait in no time. But I think I got a little too excited, and I lost him. So I cast my bait back out, and he bit again for the 2nd time. But this guy was putting up a fight. He did not want to be caught. And I lost him again. Now, 3rd time is the charm. I got him to bite the bait, and I was not going to lose him this time. And finally, after a long and annoying battle, look how big this guy is. It's huge. It's literally twice the size of me. This was literally my retirement fish. I don't think I'm ever going to fish again. Look at him. Once I got back home, it was time to continue expanding our wattle forest. I just wanted to keep expanding everything as much as I could. And I had a lot of flowers, so I made sure to brew them before we called it a day. And here's a look at all the metal I had been collecting. And I went over to Theodore to finish the photo quest that he had given me. I made a quick 12,000 dink. And with that, it was time to wrap up day 33. We got a whole fishing level from catching that one fish, but we didn't make any dink today. And Merlin was visiting our town again. It's always nice getting a visitor. But with all the excitement from the day before, I forgot to check the bank out. So it was the first thing I did on day 34. You can deposit money, and over time it'll build interest. So I just literally deposited all my dinks. And you can also convert your dinks into permit point. It costs 500 dinks per permit point. I wasn't ready for that yet. I went over to check out Melvin's store, and I'm pretty sure Savazar bought the place out. I had a bunch of goodies to give to Theodore, and I collected a nice chunk of 600 permit points. And I checked out the fish aquarium for the first time. These were all the big fishies that we had caught so far. And you already know what I was in here for. Look at that big boy. I literally love the fish aquariums. Savazar might like the bugs more, but I'm all about the fish. I can't wait to fill this place up with even more fishies. I made my way back over to John to sell some more junk for a quick 65,000 dink. I finally bought the level 3 farming license. I mainly wanted this license so I could unlock the irrigation license. I learned how to make the iron watering can and the iron hoe, along with the iron scythe. I went to see if this was worth it. It was not. So I finished some milestones instead. I sold over 10 fish, dug up over 250 treasure, finished 5 buildings, completed 10 quests from the bulletin board, and collected 25 different bugs. And now with all those permit points, I was able to buy my first irrigation license, where I learned how to make the sprinkler and the water tank. And this was another big reason why I'd been doing a lot of metal detecting. I knew all these items were going to be pretty expensive. I had most of what I needed, but I had to get more wood. And I did my usual collecting of wattle flowers and metal detecting along the way. I was trying not to waste a single minute. And while I was out, I also finally found the 4th tower. This tower eluded me for way too long. It's way out in the middle of nowhere. I honestly didn't even think I was going to be able to swim over this island. But we made it with no problem. And I had everything we needed. Now with all 4 towers finished, it was time to see what these puppies could do. So you can basically just teleport to any tower. and this is pretty helpful for getting around the map. So, of course, I made sure to break in every tower. And I was finally glad to have all these quests done. That meant that any more metal that I collected was all mine, and I could save it up for Franklin or more sprinklers or water tanks, but I was glad to have that finished. I collected a milestone for chatting with over 10 people, and also repairing the teleporters. Savazar had a bug for me to catch. How nice of her. And I also caught a new wasp. And I made sure to collect quartz because I needed it for the sprinklers. I had mined a ton before, but of course I sold it. So I had to catch up. And I had a quest for Melvin. Luckily, we had extra clothing in the wardrobe, thanks to Savazar. I really wanted Melvin to move to the island as well, so I made sure to do the quest for him. And he gave me this nice chair. I don't think Savazar liked where I put it. I thought it was pretty cool. And now it was time to harvest all my trees again. I had so many fruits, I didn't even know what to do with all of them. All the fruits are really good for making the fruit salads, or you can use the billy can kits to make them into jellies. I went out and caught a few more bugs. I needed the black cricket for Fletch. I was still trying to keep up with quests for everybody in town, but they were keeping me busy, and I got a nice little eye patch. But it was time to call it a day. And that wraps up day 34. We got a ton of levels, and we made over 64,000 dinks. And on day 35, we didn't have any visitors. And with all the fruits I had, all I wanted to do was make our orchard even bigger. Like I said, I just wanted to keep expanding everything. I wanted to make sure we didn't run out of anything. And look what Savazar surprised me with. Look at the little mustache. She's got a caterpillar on her lip. But I don't think it looked that good on her, so she just gave it to me. And now I literally look like I work at a pizzeria. And with that, I finally planted my last apple. I basically ran out of room, so I couldn't really make it that much bigger. So I started turning the rest of the fruits into jelly. And then I went and bought another table saw. I'm not sure why we still only had one. And I also bought a new mining pass. And I was finally able to make my first watering tank. And I put it in the back of our crop area. I also finished planting the rest of the wattle seeds that I had. Look how much bigger it got. I really like that it's set up right behind John's shop. It looks good to me. I had plans to make more water tanks, so I finished sawing down the logs that I had. And I made 2 more water tanks. And then Savazar showed me a little trick she learned how to do. She's been catching animals and selling them. That was something I was going to benefit from later on. I placed down the 2 extra tanks that I made. I wanted to redo this whole area, but it just wasn't time yet. And I had a lot of extra seeds, so I thought it was time to bring some life back to this place. We had kind of stripped down everything to where it was just very bare and empty, and I thought adding a bunch of trees would make it look better. We'll see how it turns out in a few days. But I didn't just add trees around the animal farm. I planted trees all throughout our town. And for the future, I decided it was time to plant all the seeds that I had collected. This took me a while. That's not even close to half the seeds that I have. I'm gonna have to come back and finish at a later point. We really expanded on a lot of things on day 35. Our wattle bushes were huge, our fruit tree orchard was even bigger, and we planted a ton of regular trees. I think this was all gonna pay off a lot in the long run. I finished the day off by collecting all my jellies off the floor, and then it was time to wrap up day 35. Day 35 was gonna be a very important day for the future of our town. We laid a lot of new foundations. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let us know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.